Gombe Ministry of Health trains sales professionals on digital tools to enhance emergency services. Plus, Governor Yahaya's Sawash projects brings solar boreholes and modern toilets to Kwame communities. Residents praised improved living conditions. Hello everyone out there, good evening and welcome. It's a pleasure having you on the news tonight. My name is Alkitoma and stay tuned as I bring you details of the news. As part of ongoing efforts to improve access to quality health care, the Gombe State Ministry of Health has organized a one-day training program for professionals of the Gombe State Emergency Medical and Ambulance Services (CEMAS). The training was held at the conference hall of the Gombe State Specialist Hospital and brought together focal persons from various hospitals across the state. Speaking during the training, the Director of Planning, Research and Statistics at the Gombe State Ministry of Health, who also doubles as the CEMAS coordinator, Dr. Siraj Abdul Karim, said the training would significantly improve the quality of services rendered during medical emergencies. Dr. Abdul Karim commended the leadership of Gombe State Governor Muhammadu Yahaya for supporting the program and reaffirming the state's commitment to strengthening the health sector.
We're using this opportunity to call on the general public to key into this program and let them be aware that any emergencies now that visit any of our general hospitals will be treated free of charge. So that is very important because it was observed that some people, maybe because of the emergency nature of their illnesses, they cannot be able to pay at that time. So government now is paying for that service.
The program dispatcher Mr. Shadrach Campbell noted that the program will go a long way in enhancing the efficiency and response time. Also speaking, the desk officer of the Gombe State Specialist Hospital Hafsat Maazo said they gained valuable knowledge on ambulance coordination, dispatch operation and emergency medical services through the new CEMAS digital project.
Services they need. As you know, it's all about emergency response.
Actually, we've learned so many things, right from ambulance dispatch, emergency medical services using our new NEMSAS platform.
The program is aimed at orienting participants on newly introduced digital tools for accessing emergency medical and ambulance services. Some residents of Malen City, Gadam and Bomala community, Doho and Tanna in Kwame local government area of Gombe State have described Governor Muhammadu Yahaya as a leader of the masses whose policy have eased their living condition. The residents said the governor has brought relief to their communities through the provision of solar-powered boreholes and modern toilet facilities in neighborhoods, markets and schools. They made this remark while speaking to an inspection team led by Comrade Mahiri Idris during a monitoring tour of projects executed by the Gombe State Rural Water Supply and Sanitation Agency (RWASA) and the Gombe State Environmental Protection Agency (GOSIPA) under the Sustainable Urban and Rural Water Supply, Sanitation and Hygiene Program (SAWASH). According to the residents, the only way to reciprocate the gesture is by maintaining loyal to the present administration and offering prayers for the success of its future plans.
Ba wannan duniya ba har rana gobe kiyama yayi abunda gwamnoninmu na ba tunanin su bai ba da daman aikata musu wannan aikin ba.
To muna mai girma gona da fatan alkhairi. Abubuwan da yasa na gaban alkhairi Allah tabbatar alkhairi.
Kamar yadda ya zo ya zama ga asibitinmu ya kawo mana bandakai ya sa kuma aka sama mana da ruwa da sauran abubuwan da ya kamata. Don a gaskiya daman bandakai musamman irin asibiti. A cikin asibiti ne akwai bandakan kuma they are not well enough.
Sanan kasuwa a da sai dai fiya wata za mu yi alwala da shi ko kuma ruwa daga wani wuri a kawo mana, amma yanzu alhamdulillah gashi nan dai ni ne shaida na zo na ɗebo ruwa abu da zan zo yi alwala na yi sallah.
Gwamna godiya kawai za mu yi masa, muna fatan a yanda yake a yanzu kuma ya fi haka bayan ya gama gwamnatinsa. Allah sa ya zama ana tafiya menene senate, Allah sa ya samu wannan senate din.
Gaskiya ya mana sololi, ya mana hanyar motoci, ya kuma an gyara asibitoci da sauransu da sauran ayyuka da ba iyakan ayyuka.
Speaking after the inspection, the leader of the team, Comrade Mahir Idris, alongside Ahmed Mahdi Abubakar, expressed satisfaction with the quality and impact of the project executed for the benefit of the people.
Mai girma gwamna, wannan mutanen gari suna moran wannan romon demokradiyya, suna godiya. Ana ɗiban ruwa zuwa lokaci mutane suna amfani da shi, mutane suna godiya. Wannan abu ya nuna mana cewa mu bayyana alkhairanka, mu nuna wa jama'a fa'idarka da kuma taimako da kake yi. Mai girma gwamna, jama'a suna mana kirayen mu kiraka da ka zo ka nemi senatan Gombe North.
Mai girma gwamna ya samar da wannan ruwa karkashin hukumar Sawosh wadda ta samar da wannan ruwa din. Wannan ruwa kuma yana taimaka mutanen anguwa.
The facilities inspected include solar power boreholes in Malen Sidi and Bomala, as well as modern toilet facilities at the Primary Health Care Center in Gadam, Government Comprehensive Day Secondary School Gadam, Government Day Secondary School Kwami, and Walin Kwami Primary and Nursery School, as well as Community Day Secondary School Dohu. The executive chairman of the local government area, Alhaji Adam Mohammed Waziri, led the executive chairman of the Gombe State Housing Corporation, Engineer Habu Ushinga, and his entourage to inspect the Duku cattle market, where a portion of land has been proposed as the permanent site for the instruction of 100 housing units for local government staff. According to a statement by the information officer, Duku local government area, Kabiru Musa Mohammed, this follows the plan relocated of the Duku cattle market to the new Duku mega market along the Duku road. Alhaji Adamu Mohammed Waziri assured the Gombe State Housing Corporation of his administration's full support to ensure the successful execution of the housing project in Duku local government area. Earlier, the executive chairman of the Gombe State Housing Corporation, Engineer Habu Ushinga, explained that the visit was to access landed property owned by the corporation within Duku local government area. Engineer Habu Ushinga also thanked the executive governor of Gombe State, Alhaji Muhammad Inu Yahya, for providing the Housing Corporation Board with an enabling environment to operate without interferences. In a goodwill message, a permanent member, Alhaji Mohammed Grama, thanked all stakeholders who attended the engagement and called on the government to sustain the execution of development projects in Duku local government area. In continuation of the conferment of traditional title on deserving individuals in his emirate, the Emir of Gombe, Alhaji Abubakar Shehu Abubakar, has conferred the traditional title of Hasken Gombe on Umar Abdul Hamid Musa. The appointment was announced by the district head of Shamaki, Alhaji Usman Shamaki, during a visit by a delegation from the Gombe Emirate to formally convey the Emir's decision at the residence of the new Haskin Gombe near the Pantami Livestock Market, popularly known as T-Ken Pantami in Gombe Metropolis. Our correspondent Mohammed Ibrahim Pantami completes the report.
Be explained that the title was bestowed in recognition of Umar Abdul Hamid Musa's contributions to the community and commitment to the development of the Gombe Emirate. In his remarks, the new Hasken Gombe, Umar Abdul Hamid Musa, thanked the Emir of Gombe for the honor, describing it as a sign of confidence and encouragement. He pledged his loyalty to the Emir and promised to continue serving the people and the Emirate with dedication.
Lallai ina tare da farin ciki wanda ban taba shiga kamar sa ba tunda nake a rayuwata. Saboda haka shugaba uban kasa Abubakar muna masa fatan alkhairi, ubangijin Allah ya kara masa lafiya da nisan kwana, abubuwa duk da yasa ga wani alkhairi Allah ubangiji ya biya masa.
The Wandoman Gombe retired Assistant Inspector General of Police Zubairu Mu'azu appreciated the Emir for comparing the title on his Sarkin Yamma, describing the gesture as clear testimony of that Umar Abdulhamid Musa lives peacefully with the people of Gombe Emirate. Conferment ceremony was witnessed by traditional title holders, family members and well-wishers who welcomed the appointment and offered prayers for peace and progress in the Gombe Emirate. Muhammad Ibrahim Pantami, GMC News.
Muslims have been urged to uphold the responsibility of ensuring the proper upbringing of their children in order to raise responsible and law-abiding members of the society. The call was made by the second state deputy chairman of the Izala Council of Ulama, Sheikh Aliyu Muhammad Bara, during the organization's weekly preaching held at Bulari, West Gombe. He expressed concern over the rising rate of moral decay and indiscipline in society and stressed the need for collective efforts to address the challenge. Sheikh Bara also condemned in recent incidents in Kano State, where 7 members of a family were killed in broad daylight. He described the act as inhuman and selfless and called on government to take swift and decisive measures that will serve as a deterrent to others. In a sermon, Sheikh Dauda Abubakar cautioned against marrying multiple wives without the financial capacity to care for them adequately. Similarly, Ustaz Muhammad Sani Muhammad advises Muslims to teach their children how to protect their integrity and self-esteem at all times, lamenting the declining level of respect and discipline in society. Also preaching, Ustaz Musa Abdullahi Dakta emphasized the importance of seeking knowledge and applying it in daily life. He urged parents to prioritize the education of their children, warning that without proper education, society would face serious challenges in the future. In his remark, the district head of Bulari, Alhaji Hassan Abubakar, commended the Izala organization for consistently reminding Muslims of their religious obligation, noting that traditional institutions appreciate the respect accorded to them by the organization. The chief imam of Laura Juma at Mosque in Balanga local government area, Malan Sambo Bulama, urged Muslim faithfuls to prepare for death by focusing on good deeds. The imam said death can come at any time, hence the need for believers to distance themselves from acts that could lead them to hellfire. Malan Sambo Bulama also encouraged Muslims to observe at least 3 days of fasting in the month of Shawwal to attract divine blessings and bounties. We further advise youths not to misuse their strength for evil deeds, but to dedicate their time and energy to serving God. The far town area of Yamal today was filled as the treasurer of the Yamal Tudiba local government council, Alhaji Shehu Ahmad, gave out his daughter at the pronouncement of 200,000 naira dowry. Speaking after the wedding, Fatia, parents of the groom and the bride, Alhaji Muhammad D. Hassan Dolbin Diba and Alhaji Shehu Ahmad Chikasorun Yamaltu, advised the couples to respect one another and avoid involving a third party in the matrimonial affair. They stressed that such understanding would help sustain peace and harmonious coexistence in their home. They also described the massive turnout at the ceremony as a sign of mutual understanding and unity amongst the people across different walks of life. People from all walks of life, including the chairman of Yamal Chidib Local Government Council, Alhaji Abubakar Hassan Ifa, serving and retired civil servants, top government functionaries, and representatives of various emirates attended the event. It was a blend of celebration of life and deep mourning at the burial of retired Rear Admiral Chugali Umar Ayuba, who died after a brief illness at the age of 57 while on terminal leave ahead of his retirement from the Nigerian Navy. The burial ceremony held at his family compound in Dungaji Muna Cham district of Balanga local government area, Gombe State, drew a large crowd of sympathizers from within and outside the state. Among those present were the Deputy Governor of Gombe State, Dr. Manasseh Daniel Jato, senior military officers, politicians, traditional rulers, religious leaders, and other well-wishers. Speaking on behalf of the Gombe State government, Dr. Manasseh Daniel Jato described the death of Rear Admiral Chugali Ayuba as a monumental loss not only to the family and community but to the Gombe State and the nation at large. He said the late naval officer was disciplined, highly professional, and served Nigeria meritoriously in the Nigerian Navy, as well as contributing to the development of his community and the state. Dr. Jato urged the widow and entire Chugali family to accept the loss as the will of God, noting that every soul must return at an appointed time. He also acknowledged that late Rear Admiral's contributions to humanity through community projects and personal intervention, and prayed for divine comfort for the bereaved family. During the sermon at the funeral service, Evangelist Ali D. Salah, who read from the book of Hebrews chapter 9 verses 27, reminded Christians that death is a divine ordinance that cannot be altered by man. He urged believers to live with the consciousness of judgment and eternity, as everyone will give account of their deeds. Also speaking, the Nidu Gracham, Dr. James Churches expressed deep sorrow over the loss, describing the late Rear Admiral as a kind, patriotic, and selfless son of the chieftain. They prayed for God to raise more sons and daughters of Cham with the same spirit of service. The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Idi Abbas, presented by Rear Admiral S.H. Abdullahi, as well as the President of the 40th Rebel Corps of the Nigerian Navy, said Rear Admiral Chugali Umar Ayuba distinguished himself throughout his military career, rising through the rank with loyalty, humility, and dedication. They describe him as an officer who left behind legacy worthy of emulation, and extended condolences to the family and the Cham community. The widow, Mrs. Juliet Chugali, who was visibly emotional, said although she understands that death is inevitable, the loss of her husband remains difficult for her to comprehend. She described him as a loving and kind-hearted man who was always committed to the welfare of his family and community. Other speakers, including Ali Issa JC, leaders of the Cham Progressive Association, Air Vice Marshal Amos, and Dr. Anjuma, described the late Rear Admiral Chugali Umar as a pillar whose absence will be deeply felt. And with that report, we've come to the end of the news. But before I go, I'll look at some of the stories that made headlines. You heard that as part of ongoing efforts to improve access to quality health care, the Gombe State Ministry of Health has organized a one-day training program for professionals of the Gombe State Emergency, Medical and Ambulance Services. Speaking during the training, the Director of Planning, Research and Statistics at the Gombe State Ministry of Health, who also doubles as the SEMA's coordinator, Dr. Siraj Abdul Karim, said the training was significantly improved the quality of services rendered during medical emergencies. And finally, some residents of Malan Sidi, Gadam and Bomala Community Doho and Tenna Inkwami local government area of Gombe State have described Governor Muhammadu Inwe Yahya as a leader of the masses whose policies have eased their living condition. The residents said the governor has brought relief to their communities through the provision of solar-powered boreholes and modern toilet facilities in neighborhoods, markets, and schools. And that's the much on the news. Thank you for being there. Have a good night from me.